In this video, we want to determine the expected amount of time that a customer or a patient entering through the emergency room will spend in the hospital prior to being discharged. To do that, we get the generator matrix, and we're going to partition it as follows. This submatrix here is going to denote the transitions between the transient states, that is, from one of the units to another one of the units prior to being discharged, right? Where again, state 0 would denote the person goes home, and states 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the other units within the hospital. We get this submatrix V, and we take the inverse of it, and then we take the negative of the elements, and this gives us the matrix of mean residence times, or the matrix of the amount of time that a person spends in transient state J, given that they start in transient state I. So for example, 0.166 would say, given that the person enters through the emergency room, they would spend 0.166 days on average in the emergency room prior to being discharged or moving to another unit. If we take this matrix, this residence time matrix, and multiply it by the column vector of 1s, it yields the following vector, which gives the expected amount of time that the person spends in the hospital prior to being discharged, given that they enter in those states. And in particular, we're interested in the patients who enter through the emergency room, which would be that element of the matrix. So for a patient entering through the emergency room at Medical Center Hospital, we would expect that they would be in the hospital for 4.119 days prior to being discharged.